Kyle Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers podcast, episode 204 to be exact. Episode 204. Happy Thursday to you. Hope everybody's having a great and tremendous week. Make sure you what I want to say. You like, click, and subscribe.
Spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Also, in the sound of my voice on the podcast side, make sure you give us that 5-star review, 5-star review, and make sure you also leave us that awesome remark, man. Remember, as D-Dub always said, love us or hate us, make sure you get at us, man. Hey, we got a really great episode tonight, man. We're going to talk some hockey with Dan. Dan is with us. Ryan will be with us shortly, talking some NBA basketball. We'll talk some college basketball. We'll talk about some NFL shuffling. Mike McCarthy will be back, it looks like. They gave him a vote of confidence, and he'll be back with the Cowboys, man. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into that, man. We'll also talk about some other things that's going on in the worldwide of sports. But before that, and we have our segment, Hit or Miss. This should be interesting today, man. They might cuss me out after this one, boy. I tell you, boy. Hey, with that said, let's meet the crew. Going from left to right on my screen and on yours too. Let's meet the DA. DA, good afternoon, good evening, I should say. How are you, sir?
We good, man. We here.
No doubt. Appreciate that, brother. That's the DA. Dan, what's up, brother? How are you? Dan really wanted to get at us on Monday. He has so much to say, but he'll have something to say tonight. Dan, what's up, bro? How are you?
What's good, people? It's good to be back. Let's get into this. Let's go.
Gotcha. And we got D-Dub. D-Dub, what hat you got on, man? I can't see it, bro.
You can't see it. That's the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens hat.
Oh, it came in the mail today. Okay, you got your Baltimore Ravens hat in. Hat on today.
Okay. Yeah. That's the Browns. The Browns.
I'm glad that I didn't get that one. So, but
shout out to all those that's watching on the YouTube side, and we were trying to get Instagram going here a little bit. I'll try to get it going here a little bit, but shout out to all those that's watching on the YouTube side, Twitter, Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We got our NBA insider. He got his Rockets gear on. Ryan D'Souza, NBA insider. Ryan, welcome, man. Welcome back, bro.
What's up, fellas? It's not a good night after last night. We went to the garden. We went to the garden and laid an egg. We competed in the first half, but
yes, I did.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. As you can see, Ryan, I wore this especially for you, sir. There you go.
I know. I'm still gonna rep the H-Town, though. You know what I'm saying? So,
no doubt.
Y'all tried, but
yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, we got a lot to get into tonight, man. Shout out to my super producer, JR, man. He's holding it down behind the scenes, make it do what it do. And hey, we're gonna get into some hockey tonight. We got, like I said, we got my main man, Dan, the hockey dude, Dan K, the hockey dude. He's gonna say it when it goes to the world of hockey. Dan, take it away, bro.
Well, it's been a few weeks, and my oh my, how things have changed in the world of the NHL. It was kind of funny, I was scrolling around looking, TSN, Sporting News, CBS, and looking at power rankings and, looking at the standings and what's going on, with these teams. And who would have thunk that we're going to talk about the Winnipeg Jets being the best team in the NHL right now? Like, quietly under the radar, way up there in Canada, just doing their thing. They're 9-1 in their last 10. And Connor Hellebuyck, he's been a great goalie for them for years. It just seemed like they couldn't put it together. But this year, they seem to find the, what they need to get over the hump. Right now, they're 29, 10, and 4 for 62 points, tied with Vancouver at the top of the West. So we got Vancouver at number 2. They were 7-2-1 the past 10. Like I said, they're tied with the Jets, top of the West. Then we got the Florida Panthers at number 3. They were 7-1-2 in their last 10. Granted, they're behind Boston and they're behind the Rangers in the standings. But the way they've been playing and the way those other two teams have been playing, they've been playing a little bit better.
Dan, before I stop you, are the Jets going to make some kind of moves before the deadline? You think?
I don't know. It's not like a major market, but it's still a Canadian market. I think that they could possibly pick up a player or two here. It might not be a huge impact player, Patrick Kane, or somebody that's way up on the stardom. But they'll probably get a couple guys that fit needs or roles that they're missing.
Right.
Power
Makes
play
sense.
guy, or penalty kill guys, somebody that can play the third line, stop the opposing team's best players.
Makes sense.
Somewhere in that range. I think they'll make some moves. It might not be blockbuster type stuff, but they will get better at the trade deadline here, and that's probably what beginning of March.
Yeah.
And then fourth on my list, I got the Boston Bruins. They went 6-1-3, and they're probably one of the 4 good games that I think are going on today. They're playing Colorado and Boston. They're up 3-1 right now. And the Avs have been hot too. They were, they're 8-2 in their last 10. So that
should be good.
That game's going to tighten up, I think. Here, it's only the first period, but we'll see what happens. And number 5,
and 3 in the first period that's a lot of goals.
Shit happens. and anybody will tell you, a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey.
Right.
This is true.
So there is time. But number 5, I will say this is the ringer on the list, and I had to move them way up just because the way they're playing. And we, been talking, a whole bunch of noise about how they need to get it together, get to the playoffs. Right now they're sitting in the 7th position in the West, and they've won 11 straight. McDavid's been on a 1.8 points a game tear.
Dude's hot.
Oh, he's in
flaming.
In fuego. But
yes,
they're the number 5 team, the Edmonton Oilers. And like I said, and what's really wild about this, because every time you think about Edmonton, you think about Draisaitl and you think McDavid. But they picked up a guy from Toronto, I think 2 years ago, and Zach Hyman. And this dude is absolutely on fire this year. He's on pace for 50 goals. And, of course, he's one of the ones that got snubbed for the All-Star game. But we'll get into that at a later date. But like I said, 6 is the Avalanche. And then Rangers, sorry, boys. Your guys have been struggling of late.
Oh, yeah. We've been.
It's been awful the last, They're 4 and 5?
And 1.
4, 5, and 10. 4, 5, and 1 in the last 10.
Yeah, they're struggling a bit, and that's one of the other games that. So, you got Boston and the Avalanche playing right now. Later on the night, you got Toronto and Calgary playing in Calgary, and then you got Seattle and Edmonton playing in Edmonton, and then you got the Rangers playing Vegas.
Vegas tonight,
in Vegas.
Yeah,
10 o'clock.
So that'd be the 4 top games, I think, of the evening.
Yeah. Not a good game when you're struggling.
Well, the good news for the Rangers, they get to play the Vegas Knights. They're 4-6-0 in their last 10. So this is
they hit a patch too.
Well, here's the thing too.
Yeah.
They played a shit ton of hockey last year. They won the Stanley Cup, and they played a lot more games than your Rangers did. But eventually, when you get to that point where you make the even in football right now, these teams, you look at what the Eagles did. They played the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl, bounced in the first round. And it's kind of the same thing. The more games you play, the next year you come back, it's really hard. Like what Tampa Bay did win 3 in a row is amazing. Just because of how much they played, how much wear and tear that is on them, and to be able to keep that level of play up for that long is amazing. But we'll see what happens with the Rangers in Vegas tonight. That should be a good one.
That's a very interesting game.
That's very interesting. Let me just interject this too, Dan. You got the Predators, you got the Oilers, the Kraken, the Flames. Blues are all within 5 points of one another. What's your thoughts about how can I say this? Could two teams come to be the wild card out of the West? Your thoughts being that everybody's
there's gonna be two out of the West. It
right.
depends on what division.
Oh, well,
right.
Well, I worded that wrong. Which division?
Well, I'll put it, point in
go
front.
ahead.
Calgary 7-3-0 in their last 10. Seattle's 8-2-0. They lost to the Penguins on the road, and they lost to your Rangers on the road the other day. They were on an 8-game winning streak. So those teams are hot.
Right.
Where Arizona has been shit in the bed. They're 4-5-1. Yeah. St. Louis is 5-4-1. So is Nashville. LA is 1-5-4. They've kind of hit a brick wall. I'm not sure kind of what their deal is, but they've been struggling as of late. But the only thing that they got going for them, they only played 41 games. They're halfway through their season. And a lot of teams in front of them have played 44, 43, 45 games. So they got, 3 to 4 games in hand on everybody in front of them. So they can get it right. That's the crazy thing about Edmonton. Like I was on, just like Toronto, I was on their ass. Their goaltending sucked. Their defense sucked. But they figured it out. They're on an 11-game winning streak. But not only that, they've only played 40 games.
40 games, yeah.
So they've got like 4 to 5 games in hand on these teams. And if they continue playing like they do, the only problem is the top 3 teams in this division in the West, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Colorado, they're also playing really well. But they could bounce themselves all the way up to, 4th in the West and get that home series. So it'll be interesting to see like how this transpires. I think 2 weeks from now, next 2 weeks, Friday starts the All-Star weekend.
And where?
Oh, hey, imagine that. Toronto.
And we want to place.
Yeah, that's why I got 2 weeks to work on this. So we'll see who gets injured, who sits out, and who gets named. But Toronto's already got 4 people going to this thing because it's in their house. Which, whatever. We'll get into that. But then after the Rangers, I got Dallas at 8, Carolina at 9. Like I said, Seattle, they've been on a streak. They're at 10. The Flyers, amazingly, they're at number 11. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10, but they've been playing really well with what they got. They're way above expectations. And I think Briere, Jonesy, and Torts have got this team with the right mindset. And I know you read the notes last time, but one of the huge things that happened last week was Cutter Gauthier, their draft pick.
Yes, we talked about that last week. Yes,
and like I was telling you, like he straight up told them, "Don't talk to me, don't talk to my agent. I'm done with you. I'm not coming there." And what?
Don't talk to me.
What I kind of read up and researched was like Briere, the GM. He was new. He wasn't there that long. They drafted this dude, and they're like, "Hey, look, we can't guarantee you a spot on the roster. You're going to have to earn it. And if you don't earn it, then we're going to put you down to Lehigh Valley, the Phantoms, and you're going to have to play there in the AHL." And, this kid's used to getting the red carpet. Whatever team he plays on, he gets, a spot. He's playing top forward minutes, blah, blah, blah. And I just think he was like, "Hey, I'm not guaranteed a spot. I'm not playing there." So then they had the World Juniors here a couple weeks ago, and the USA, the under-18 team, won, and he was part of that. They sent John LeClair, and who was the other one? They sent 2 of the most respected Philadelphia Flyers in recent years to go talk to this kid, and he refused to talk to him. And then there was a bunch of shit that they said that Kevin Hayes, that used to play there, told this kid not to play there. And so he was getting death threats and everything else. This was a huge ordeal last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And he came out with a statement like, "I'm not going to get in why I didn't go there, but Kevin Hayes had nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah." And I don't know if anybody saw the interview that they did with Tortorella I think it was after a practice or something. He goes, is the reporter here that reported that about Kevin Hayes today? And the guy said, yeah, I'm right here. And he just fucking laid into him. He's like, what are you doing? And that's why I love Torts. Like, he's an asshole as a coach, but he absolutely does care about his players.
Hey.
And he has their back. He's old school, but he's genuine. That's what I love about him. But with all that said, so they made the trade. They brought, with Anaheim, they brought Jamie Drysdale in, and they did the awesome thing. Like, they were going to play him. I think he practiced, I think, once or twice. They were having him in the game. So they flew his parents and everything and his family in so they could watch the game from the suite. And they took care of him that way. And, it's a win-win. They got somebody that never won the play there, out of the organization, and they brought somebody in that really does want to be there. So that being said, Phillies is way above expectation of probably even their own organization. But I think they're playing really well. But I'm not going to really go further than that because I got Vegas at 12, and then you've got a myriad of teams that are within like 3 points of each other on both sides, West and Eastern division that could be in the playoffs. Like the Penguins are at 48 points. Toronto's at 50, same games played. These last probably 3 positions in each division are going to be settled probably way later in the season because all these teams are so close together because we have the stupid tie rule and the shootout and all that other stupid bullshit where if they just do what the women's league's doing 3-2-1 and 0, it'd be way better. But it is what it is. But I would like to shout out. So recently, Marc-Andre Fleury, that used to play for the Penguins, has 3 cups there. He passed Patrick Waugh for the most wins as a goalie in the NHL with 552.
Wow, that was a long time, man. Patrick Waugh been gone from the game for a minute.
Yes, but he's not even the GOAT. Some of you watch hockey. One of you should be able to tell me who's got the most wins.
And
you giving us multiple choice?
Yeah, man.
Eastern. I need multiple choice.
I will give you the conference.
Wait a minute.
Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference got to be the Devils.
Martin Brodeur.
There you go. There you go.
I should have known that.
691 wins.
Marty was he was a beast, man.
He was a bad boy.
Yeah.
You couldn't beat that dude.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. Fleury's number 2. He's 140 games behind this dude. And you figure if he wins 25 games a year, right?
Yeah.
He's still 6 seasons away from breaking that. And that record might not get broken.
Right.
Ever. It's just that's insane that this dude won almost 700 games in the NHL. And then, we gotta get on the get on my drum and start pounding away for my Toronto Maple Leafs. So in news, they went out and they signed their player William Nylander for 8 years, $92 million, 11.5 cap hit per year. So let's put this in perspective. Their goaltending has been ass.
Yes.
Their defense has been ass. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10.
Yep.
They've lost the last 4.
Yeah.
So
points.
They're mid at best.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So next year, this is not even including this year. Next year, the projected cap for the NHL is $87.7 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Austin Matthews, $13.25 million. Tavares, last year, his contract, $11 million.
Right.
Mitch Marner, $10.9 million. And then you add in Nylander's $11.5. That's $53.25 million between 4 players, and they've only got $34.45 million left. So on an NHL roster, you have 22 players on the bench at all times. So you have to field 2 goalies, 6 defensemen, and 4 forward lines. So that'd be 12 more. So they've got to get, what is it? That's 4 guys. They need 18 more at 30, and they got to fit them in under 34 million.
They're all going to be 10 years old.
So we'll just throw the 5th player in there, Morgan Riley, the defenseman. He makes 7.5. So that would get us to the 53 million. So you need to get 17 more players on your team. And that's where I say somebody's got to go.
They will be 10 years old.
You can't you can't pay 5 guys 53 million out of an $87 million cap and expect to be good. Yeah.
What they say, mathematics, man. Mathematics.
Yeah, you can outscore some teams. But at the end of the day, when you start playing the good teams that play defense, you're not going to beat those teams because, you may score 4 goals in a game, but you're going to give up 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. The math ain't mathing for real.
And that's, we talk about that in every sport, man. If you got, especially sports like hockey, where it's what we call a hard salary cap, where you really can't move past it. Dude, like, what are you doing? It's, you don't have that baseball thing where you can add this and add that, even though you have a cap, you can,
you can pay a tax over the cap in baseball. Yeah. So, the cap is, 200 million, but you can spend like the Dodgers 400 million and just pay the luxury tax.
And they're deferring money in baseball now.
Yeah, I never even heard no crazy.
Stop it.
I never even heard that. Deferred money now.
Hey, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't played for the Mets in 20 years. He's still getting paid.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about him. Yeah, you're right.
So, this is like basically the midway point of the season.
What year was that? 90 what? 92?
Nah, he played Pirates in that, I think.
I'm loco, homeboy. Don't play with me.
Yeah, I think 91, 92, any events like we're all still
crazy.
Yo, I'm crazy. I'm loco.
You'll be surprised how many players defer a lot of money. We just don't hear about it.
Allen Iverson did. People didn't know that.
Yeah, because Shotani's only getting $2 million a year.
Yeah.
Over the life of that contract, everything is back-ended.
Which I think is so smart.
Yeah, because if you can't live off $2 million,
exactly.
Shit, we're doing it off of 50,000. Kiss my ass for $2 million.
But the reality is, and I think it's a cultural thing, and we talked about this. I'm not going to go any further. It's a cultural thing, and where he's from, you don't waste money. You take what you need to spend, to buy what you need to buy and live the way you want to live. That's it. Period. I don't need a bunch of cars and this, that, and the third. So
it's a different culture, a different want.
Yes.
But I will say, Bedard, he took that hit
a
couple weeks ago in the face, broken jaw, had surgery. He's already back on the ice skating. He's got the fishbowl on. It wouldn't surprise me in like another week or 2 that he's back in games wearing the protective headpiece.
That was definitely a crucial hit that he took. And like I said, when I saw him,
I don't think it's dirty. I don't think that's dirty at all.
No. When I say crucial, I mean it was a big hit. I don't think it was a dirty hit.
He's not a big guy.
Yeah,
and he had his head down, and the dudes, stood up to him, and boom, it just so happened his face hit his shoulder.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But I hope that he's well enough because he's one of the guys I want to see in the beginning of February at the All-Star game at the Skills Challenge.
Absolutely.
Because some of these guys are just ridiculous of what they can do. And this kid, he got a big future. And I don't mind them if they want to sit him and not play him in games until 6 weeks out of the 8 before they know that he's good to go. Because you don't want to damage your franchise player to the point where he can't play anymore.
Right. And they're not going to win anyway this year. So
yeah.
Dan, anything else before we get out of here with hockey here?
I
got a question for Dan.
Okay, go ahead with the question, then I'll get the other stuff in a minute.
This current roster for the Tampa Bay Lightning, is it over as far as being contenders with this current roster?
I will say this: as long as you have Vasilevsky in goal in his prime, they have a chance. But they're one of the teams, like right now, they're -3 in goals. They're the last playoff spot in the East. They played 2 more games than Pittsburgh, Washington, and New Jersey that are on their heels for that spot. Up front, forward-wise, maybe. But that dude, when Vasilevsky's on, he can steal you games.
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of your better goaltenders in all of hockey. So that's the other thing is, okay, what's the GM do come trade deadline? Can he make or tweak a couple things, to fill that void? Like Kucherov's leading the league in points. He's got like 76 points, I think. I mean, he's on pace for 140.
Wow.
And the only other player that's done that in recent memory is McDavid. So,
yeah,
as long as they still got him, and they shipped out or let Killorn sign in Anaheim. That was a 4-year deal, I think it was, that he got from Anaheim. So they've lost some good, some of their star players. You still got Stamkos, you still got Hedman, you still got Vasilevsky, you still got Kucherov. If they can get their ass in the playoffs, you don't want to play them. They know how to. They know how to win. They've won 3 cups in a row in recent memory. That's a team to be dealt with. So,
hey Dan, I got real quick. Hey, I know you ran through the power. Was it power 10? Power 20?
It was 12. 12. Just so I could leave Toronto.
Yeah. Are we still saying the Boston Bruins? I know the record's 26-8. Are we still saying they're the number 1 team and to make it all the way? And they got the rail last year. Should they be the team to make it all the way? No, still okay.
No, they've got injuries and they've got holes they need to fill. Hell, I saw on Spit and Chicklets that they're talking about Bergeron coming back.
Wow.
And I was like, really? I mean, that would make a huge difference. The guy's great at defensive hockey. He's great on the face-off circle. He's winning 65% of his face-offs. That's huge in hockey. Getting possession is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But where they're at right now, like I said, they're 6-1-3 in their last 10.
Right.
They're holding on to that number 1 spot. But what happened last year when they played Florida?
Correct.
Right.
They got a hungry team, physical team, and they couldn't deal with that. And they got railroaded.
I mean, not for nothing. Florida's still, nipping at the heels. I mean.
Oh, Florida's getting better.
Yeah.
As the year goes on, they're getting better.
Yeah.
So as I said, like, we need to look at, when we get around, say, 55 games, 60 games, we're going to have a better idea who's it and who's not.
Got it. Okay.
Teams are going to, they're going to make that push. Like, we were dog shit all year at the beginning. And now, we're plus 16 in goals. We're 3rd in the league giving up goals. We've only given up 112, 113, or whatever it is. So if we can make a tweak or two where we can get a player in that can help us on the power play or whatever and score, we're going to win more games. And I see that, we should be able to get in the back end of the playoffs here. But the last thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if anybody watches Letterkenny or Shoresy that's on Hulu, but Shoresy's the hockey, basically like comedy that's on there.
It's a good satire show. Yes, kind of like reminds you of Major Leagues, the Major Leagues and stuff like that. Yes,
but it's Shoresy. If you haven't watched it, please do. It is absolutely hilarious if you love hockey. Give your balls a tug, tit fucker. It's awesome. But one of the guys, like several of the people that are on this show, So they have the three gyms: Jim, Jim, and Jim. One of the gyms is,
Yeah.
I think Ted Nolan used to play for the LA Kings, and another one is Terry Ryan that he got drafted, I think, 8th overall from Montreal,
Right.
but he hasn't been in the league in years. But he signed on his birthday. He signed a contract, and he played in the ECHL for the Newfound Growlers. He actually got to play a game, and if you can look it up on YouTube or whatever, but he talked about being able to have his daughter, like he was 10 years removed from the league. So his daughter never got to see him play or remember him playing. So now she's a teenager, her friends, family, and all that are at the rink, and he gets to play in this game. And they had highlights of the game. And it's hilarious because if you ever watched Shorzy, it's like you got to set the tone. You know, you got to be the guy to set the tone. And he came out at 47, got in a scrap, you know, got to play one more game in, the ECHL as a pro, so his kid could see. And if you see him interviewing, talking about, you could see him blowing up. It was just an awesome interview and an awesome thing to see. And that's one of my favorite shows. It's only a couple seasons deep, but if you get a chance, check it out.
It's in the second season. I watched the first season. It's like I said, it's very satire, it's very funny. If you like shows like Major League, what's another sports funny show? I can't think of it right now.
It'd be like the replacements for football.
Okay,
replacements for football, yes, something like that. Very good, very funny, but very realistic too.
Funny as hell.
Yeah. He's Dan K with hockey. Thank you, Dan. Dan always bringing the know-how and all the facts when it comes to hockey. Appreciate you, bro. Next up, hey, we're going to talk a little NBA with our NBA insider and contributor. We got Ryan D'Souza. He's rocking his Houston Rockets
H-Town, still standing up.
H-Town attire. Ryan, before you get into what you want to get into, I got just a question for you. That the winners and losers